Shalom. I'd like to begin by saying Barakatah, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to the sincere Aki, I'm pushing this truth with all due diligence and sincerity. The message in this particular sit down is to emphasize we're clearly in crazy times. Donald Trump is continuously pushing that Greenland agenda, which at the end of the day is just a major distraction, because ultimately, regardless of whether the US takes over that region like they have historically done with Alaska, or if they leave it in Europe's rule, Magog and Babylon, being Russia and America, are still inevitably going to go to war with each other. Pursuant to the book of Ezekiel, the Lord is still going to put hooks in Russia's jaws, man, and draw her to war against America. You got all this talk about the so-called border of peace that this clown Trump is setting up, and to gaslight the people, he's got Netanyahu and Putin on it. Talking about you got to pay $1 billion equivalent to have a seat on the board, and you know they're going to focus in on how they can regulate Palestine and make sure that there's a fair outcome for all, when in actuality they're just manipulating the public and continuing to fuck over the people of Palestine. You got a situation here in the UK where people are literally on their last pound, man, struggling, you know, ready to riot, but they're too passive to do anything. Europe is fracturing. You got France saying that pretty much the European Union needs to move away from American dependency. Germany is saying that they're not going to participate in this year's World Cup Olympic sports, the Babylonian sports. If America goes into Greenland, there's all sorts of anarchy in the news and clear signs that we're in the last days. However, what you got to remember is it is written that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. When they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them. So now, you know, of course, no man knoweth the hour, but the Lord explicitly said he will give us signs, right? So, you know, it's important to pay attention to the signs, like I know brothers are, observing the seasons, seeing exactly what's going on and relating it back to the scriptures. But also remember in the back of your head, man, that the Lord said that his day would come as a thief in the night, man. And that he would bring sudden destruction upon them while they would be saying peace and safety. He'd bring sudden destruction upon the wicked while they were eating. So remember that in the midst of all this madness, you might long for the day of the Lord to come right now. And it might just be around, of course it's around the corner, but you might need to wait for a quiet spell. You might have a moment where it seems like nothing much is going on. You might have a moment where it looks like things are going back to normal, so-called, whatever the new normal is now. And then ultimately, in the middle of that, is when the Lord strikes. You see, because when the Lord comes, he's going to catch these people unawares. Revelations 1:7 tells you how he's going to come with clouds, the chariots, right? And every eye shall see him, including those which pierced him. So Yahushua is coming back in a major way to bring major damage upon the face of the planet Earth. But his coming ain't going to be obvious, man. Like, it would be beautiful if literally in the midst of all of this talking about Greenland, Trump just signed the executive order tomorrow and sent the army in. And then the UK responds and sends troops, and Germany jumps in and France jumps in, and the next thing you know, they're rushing through the chip, and then before you know it, the nukes are flying, and it's very obvious. Like, of course the Lord could do that if he wanted to. However the sequence of events plays out, it's down to the Lord. Daniel said that himself in the 2nd chapter of his book, around about the 40th verse, when he broke down Nebuchadnezzar's dream. He said, wisdom and might belongeth unto the Lord. He setteth up kings and bringeth them down. But, hey man, I personally believe, man, there's going to be a bit more mystery than that. You know, you're going to have quiet spells in this thing. You're going to have more hell raising. Trump is going to say some more outlandish things. He's going to send those ICE agents after Jake. They're going to shoot up some more Edomites. The alphabet crew is going to get upset. Things are going to go quiet for a little bit where the people get worn out. And, you know, they might have some more skirmishes. Then it goes quiet again for a seemingly long spell. And in that moment, the Lord might then decide to strike. I'm not saying I know for sure, but I'm just saying, like, you got to be understanding of the fact that the Heavenly Father's going to come in His time, not yours. And as is written, you know, the days will come where we will long for a day of the Lord and not see it. So just be patient, and in patience possess your souls. But know that when the quiet moments come, you need to be just as on fire for this truth as when the prophecies are popping off like popcorn as well, man. Because at the end of the day, that's what faith requires. How is faith described in Hebrews 11:1? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. And what do we obviously hope for? The destruction of this kingdom, the destruction of Esau, Edom, and our liberation. And the substance of things not seen, man. Like, you know, we ain't seen, I mean, we've seen the chariots, you know, brothers have seen the chariots at camp and all of that. But we ain't, you know, literally seen a chariot come down and beam a man up, like, you know, like Elijah and Elisha, or like what happened with Melchizedek and that. But we got, you know, understanding that they exist. We know that ultimately the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, is going to use them as the vehicle of salvation for His elect. We know that this man's agenda is to chip everybody, and the technology is there. But, you know, you're going to have moments where it seems quiet, man. Just a little quiet. And ultimately, that's there to separate the unbelieving from the true believers of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Because the sincere elect are going to stay on fire regardless, because they want the fuck out of here, man. Whereas the majority of our people only want to adhere unto the truth when it's beneficial, when it seems like it's essential. You know, that's the right word to use. But know that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, are going to return, indeed. But they're going to do it to catch these people totally unawares, man. What did Yahweh Shai say, man? Let the wheat and the tares grow together until the time of the harvest. And the time of the harvest is going to come a select time where the head farmer, man, looks at everything and says, yep, it's about time to make moves. And that time is soon. That time is going to be a time of judgment such as no other. But in the way upon that, hold your faith, man. Hold it together, because the time of judgment we're about to see upon the face of the planet Earth, Ezekiel 7:5 tells you, it's a time of darkness such as has never been upon the face of the planet Earth before, man. We're about to see death on a grand scale, brothers. A grand scale. Yeah, we're about to see judgment like we've never seen before. And the truth that has been so long without fruit will be declared. All of our labors of love are going to be rewarded. You know, Wisdom of Solomon 5 tells you that, man. The strangeness of our salvation. Everything is going to come to a head. All that we've been waiting for, man, is going to be granted unto us. In patience, possess your souls, but keep that fire burning, is the message of this walk and talk. Nearly at my destination. It's raining cats and dogs, as they say. Until the next time, Shalom. Kwam Yashala.